What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a spectacular day so far today. Jumping into a new episode, we're going to be looking at days 70 through 74, so let's check it out. Starting off the day, I got level 54 summoning through turning in a summoning challenge, and after that I was in Pyramid Plunder working on a thieving challenge. I got level 53, which is important because now I have all the levels I need for Desert Treasure. I should definitely get around to doing that sometime in the near future, if only just to get it done, and also for the nice convenience of having the lodestone teleport down there. But turning in that challenge, I also got level 54 thieving, so really good to be getting double levels through this challenge. Hitting Granite, decided to work on some mining, finally got level 70 mining, 5 levels away from the requirement I need for Plague's End. Another level 70 skill, pretty exciting. After that though, talking to a buddy of mine, he actually had duplicate pieces, or pieces that represented the same armor slot for the golem outfit, so I decided to swap mine with his because it's not going to affect me at all. It's still going to be the same sort of bonus, and it would help him out. So that's just kind of clarifying why I don't have the sapphire golem legs anymore. If you guys check my bank later, and you see I have the ruby golem gloves. Decided to do a bandos trip though. While I was getting kill count, I got level 65 defense. Not only does that just make doing any sort of PVM better in the fact that now I have a little more defense, I take less damage, but it's also a requirement for while Gothic sleeps, and maybe, 17 years in the future when I can finally afford third age keepsakes, I now have the level for it, so that's pretty cool. I went on to finish my death task at Graardor though, so that was pretty cool. Getting 12,000 Slayer XP per task has been really nice. I really need to make sure I'm doing more of these because it's just been such a nice boost in Slayer XP, and it's also really good money to actually get myself out there and doing a little bit of PVM. Went on to get level 74 HP, and shortly after that we also got a Godsword shard from a minion, and nonetheless it was a minion that I finally killed. So, I'm not a complete leech. I am getting some of the drops. It's just usually the minion drops. After that, though, 66 defense and then 67 defense from this trip. Fantastic XP. I'm loving how much it's helping me, not only in monetary gains, but in XP gains as well. Making progress toward that level 70 for T70 power armor has been absolutely fantastic. We didn't get any cool signature bandos drops, so it wasn't anything too special, but working out the splits afterward, it was still almost 1.1 mil for each of us, for the three of us. So that was pretty good. It's surprising, actually, how much the rune items and the orc bones add up, but it definitely is worth the time for me. Now, I was streaming my bandos trip, and I also went on to try and stream the fight caves and see if I could maybe get myself a good melee cape slot item, and I got 68 defense while I was on my way there. Went on to get level 69 defense shortly after that, and sadly I didn't record it, but I did actually die. I got bopped for an 815. I had around 5 sharks left, not a whole lot of restores. I was trying to conserve food, and one of the 360 mages decided to just wreck me. I was hoping to just regen in between rounds, but was not quite fortunate enough. While I was capping at the Citadel a while after that, though, I got level 71 mining, which is pretty cool. Another level towards 75, a requirement for Plague's End. It still really confuses me why 71 mining is a requirement for the Crystal Pickaxe when you need at least 75 to get into Prifddinas and be able to get one, but I'm just going to leave that to Jagex to figure out the logic. Finishing capping though was a solid 92k mining XP. Definitely adds up, definitely helps me out a lot, considering I do need 75 again for Plague's End, and mining is just not a skill that I enjoy. It's not a very fast skill at low levels especially, so getting this done through the Citadel and something like that has just been really helpful. AFKing some fire making though, I finally got to level 79, which is a requirement for the flame gloves. Definitely important that I go and get those. I haven't gotten around to it yet, but I haven't done any sort of intense fire making training since then. Definitely will be crucial that I go and get this though for that extra bonus XP while I train fire making. This was the end of day 70 though, at 1863 total level and 34.2 mil total XP. We had a lot of great gains, even a combat level, maybe 2 in there, but let's jump into day 71 and see how it compares. Began the day by working on my Fire Giants task, got level 66 Slayer, which is really cool. After that, went on to finally get level 70 Defense, which is just super exciting. Great milestone in the fact that this unlocks tier 70 power armor, Bandos, Armadillo Subjugation. Also Barrows as well, but I don't really see myself using Barrows. And it's just going to be a huge power spike, not only in defensive abilities, but in actual offensive capabilities as well. So I left immediately to go buy myself some Bandos. Now, if you'll remember, I still had the Lucky Bandos helm, and I also had tassets and I believe it was boots from my trip with Green. So I had just kept those when we got them as loot, so I didn't need to buy those. I did, though, have to buy the chestplate and gloves, which cost me a decent chunk of change, but it really was not anything too much to complain about. It definitely could have been a lot worse, but just so exciting to finally have some sort of tier 70 armor. and it's going to be so great. Went back to Fire Giants and completed my 40th task for 60 points. Had gotten 72k Defense XP and 27k Slayer XP. Fire Giants are actually tasks that I really, really enjoy. I'm partially biased to them just because whenever I've gotten a really good rare drop table drop, like a bunch of battle staffs or a bunch of Torstals or something, it's been at Fire Giants, so I have a special place in my heart. But completing this task meant that I had enough points to buy the ability to learn how to make a Slayer helm, which is just going to be a massive boost in all of my Slayer endeavors. And you guys know how I like Slayer as a skill. You guys know how I really like Slayer as a concept of making money and sustaining an account. So it's just going to be absolutely beautiful. The Black Mask did cost a little bit more than I expected it to. I did not think it was going to be almost 1.6 mil, but really not a big deal. It's definitely just going to be an investment that pays for itself in the long run. Made myself a Slayer helm. I am super excited. Now you might notice I didn't add the Hex Crest and the Focus Sight to it. That was a mistake on my part, and I have done that since then. So don't worry, in the comments you can chill. I do have the range and mage capabilities for it. I just had totally spaced out about it in that moment. Doing Tears of Gothics got me to level 55 summoning. Another really great summoning level, coming in without actually training summoning. You guys know I love that. Requirement for the Void Stairs back. I've actually gotten a lot of requirements for this quest done and out of the way, so I might actually look toward doing it in the near future, but I am not sure yet. AFK'd a bit of Tuska, was finally able to get enough points to buy the Tuska's Wrath ability. This is just going to be so helpful when it comes to Slayer that I just can't even express it. It's such a nice convenience being able to pretty much one-shot a lot of Slayer monsters. Speeds up tasks a lot, and it honestly, it's just pretty fun. After that, I went to Daemonheim with a couple very close friends of mine. One of these very close friends decided to hook me up with some new binds, including tier 70 arrows and a tier 70 staff, just to make dungeoneering just that much better. Finally, after I've completed the tier 2 task set, means that I can afford to use ranged instead of needing to melee, and it's just going to be absolutely beautiful. I love this setup, and I can't wait to keep upgrading it because dungeoneering is just a skill that I really enjoy, and being able to train it efficiently is so satisfying for me. Had another Bandos task from Death, so decided to go there with some friends again. Got the War Priest of Bandos Greaves. It's going to be quite a while until I finish any sort of War Priest set, but really cool to get this while getting kill count, if anything. When killing Bandos, I got level 74 attack, which was pretty cool, almost at level 75, which is where I unlocked the Tendrils ability, and a little while after that, I finished my Reaper task for another 12k Slayer points, as per usual, and we got a Bandos Tacit drop at the same time, so that was actually pretty just coincidental and really funny, honestly. Got 75 hit points a little while after that, and after that, we went on to get another Tacit's drop, so absolutely making bank in this instance. I got an elite clue scroll from one of the minions, and then, sadly, the instance was over, and it was time to see what we profited. Splitting everything 1/3 each was almost 2.7 mil per person between those two tacits, and I think we also got a couple boot drops. Again, these don't broadcast, so I didn't really record any sort of recordings for it, but it was just such a really good Bandos instance, honestly. It was very exciting to be making this much money in 1 hour, especially on such a shitty account. Went on to get level 71 farming and a farm run after that, and after that I finally had accumulated enough strange rocks to make my first statue. You guys might not know this about me, but strange rocks are actually a distraction and diversion that I really like. On my last account, it was something that helped me max a lot because it kind of forced me to train skills that I wasn't really in the mood to and didn't want to train. Things like mining, things like agility. It was that motivation that I needed. So I had done around 42 or 43 statues on that account, and I plan on doing the same on this account. It's just something that I really enjoy. It's also a nice little boost in XP, and I just am really looking forward to making progress in this. I even got 72 smithing while building the statue, so that was pretty cool as well. A very small Herblore challenge got me to level 59 Herblore after that. I am going to need to get this up to 75 for Elf City eventually. It's going to be a pain in the ass, so getting all of his little free bonus XP and challenges and stuff like that I can is going to be super helpful. Had bought some sharks to work on some cooking. I think these were the last things I needed for strange rocks previously, and of course after I built the statue I needed to get more strange rocks, so I went back to cooking and finally got level 85, the first cooking level I have gotten since the Lumbridge Beach Party. It's just been such a long time since I've needed to train it, and it's kind of refreshing to finally be getting levels in cooking again and be actively training it, because the last time I had it, #1 was the Beach Party, and before that was working on trying to make progress toward 120 cooking on my old main. After that, though, wanted to train some agility. Did not get any cool milestones yet, but that was the end of the day. At 1872 total level and 35.1 mil total XP, we did make a lot of great progress. Let's jump into the next day and see how that compares to this one. Now, day 72 was the release of the Invasion of Falador update. Overall, just if you aren't already doing it, make sure you get on it, because the XP from individual things like the herb lore, the construction, etc. is not really too special, but it is free XP. And the lamps you get at the end of it is just absolutely overpowered. You have to milk it. It's so fucking good. But I did get level 60 herb lore while healing some wounded soldiers. Nothing too special from this, just another level 60 milestone as well, which is pretty cool. Killing soldiers, however, is absolutely overpowered XP. It's over 1k XP drop per kill, and all you need to do is tag them. So if you're able to do that, and you're able to tag them fast enough before they die, I highly recommend it. It can be insane XP per hour, but I did get level 75 doing this. Overall, it's not a method that I intend on continuing too much, just because it's incredibly click intensive, and I'm a lot more of an AFK style player, so it's kind of difficult for me to manage this, and it's also it's very tedious. But level 75 attack does mark the level you need to use the Tendrils ability, which, as I'm sure you guys know, Tendrils are such a strong ability. To be able to unlock that is just going to be super helpful. You guys know the saying, another day, another Bandos trip. So decided to go back and get some kill count. Had gotten another War Priest piece, this time the Helm of Bandos. So eventually I think I will complete this. I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know how useful it's going to be, but it's still nice to make that progress. I had my Bone Crusher on me, and I actually got level 58 Prayer from killing a minion, which also brought me to level 99 Combat, which I thought was pretty funny. But another Prayer level down, quite a ways until I'm at anywhere I want to be with Prayer, notably things like 70 for Piety, 75 for Elf City, of course 92 Soul Split, 95 Turmoil, but still making that little bit of progress. Cheap and just steady progress. I'd also completed my death assignment in that kill, so that is another 12,000 Slayer XP from death assignments. Stocking up those Reaper points, it's going to be quite a while until I can do anything notable with Reaper points, things like unlocking any sort of reduced instance costs or buying Hydrix, anything along those lines is going to be ages away, but still nice to start making progress on that so early in the account. Got level 76 attack, and after that the instance was over and it was time to sell loot, split it up evenly, and see what we got. Sadly though, it was another instance with no real special drops, so it was only 1.1 mil each, but still really good profit, especially considering how newbie and low level this account is. I'm definitely going to take 1 mil profit and a whole bunch of really great XP. There's really nowhere to complain. Went on to do the quest The Darkness of Hollowvale. This is the one that unlocks the reverse route of temple trekking. That way you can do it back and forth easily. If I do ever want to work on temple trekking, which I do want to do in the future, this is just going to make it a million times more convenient. Very, very tedious quest, though. Anyway, completing it got me to level 72 agility, which is fantastic, and I got to level 55 thieving. Thieving at low levels, as I've said a million times, super tedious. Agility all around, always tedious. So getting these levels is just so great. Cashing in some of my lamps from the Falador update. In future clips, I'm trying to do all 25 of them from a day at once, just to kind of show you guys how much you can actually get in a day. But I did get level 72 mining, which is a quest requirement. Good to get that done and out of the way. Also got level 56 summoning from these lamps. I'm trying to put as many of them as I can into summoning. I try to put all of my stuff into summoning. If you haven't heard me explain it before, the reason is because not only does this save me money, but it also saves me the effort of collecting charms. I know that you can get more than enough charms for 99 summoning on your way to 99 Slayer, but the problem with that is that I want 75 summoning for Plague's End as soon as possible, and I don't really have the luxury of being able to slay for weeks and weeks to be able to have enough charms. So putting my stuff into summoning is going to be really helpful. But this was the end of day 72 at 1880 total level, 35.5 mil total XP. Let's jump into day 73. Cashing in the rest of the lamps for this day. As I said, this day I was kind of sporadic about it, but in future days after reset, I'm going to try and do all of them at once. I did get level 57 summoning, so another really exciting level. It doesn't really unlock anything, just really cool to see that progress. And then I finished capping. Had gotten around 36k construction XP through capping at the catapults. I don't remember if I set that properly, like if that was the full day or if I wound up resetting my counter a little bit late, but regardless, still not bad XP considering all of the lamps I'm getting on top of it. Went on to knock out a little bit of dungeoneering, got level 71. This is important because now I can do the first occult floor. I believe that's a requirement for a task, but it's also just nice in boosting my prestige just a little bit more, getting that extra XP, and just getting my dungeoneering up that much faster. Went on to do a basilisk task, got level 67 Slayer from that, and 76 magic. Really cool levels coming in. Finished the task, my 41st task. 37k magic XP and 12k Slayer XP. As per usual, I usually get around there for basilisk tasks. So nothing too special, but still nice levels. Doing a greater demon task after that, though, I got level 76 HP, and this got me to the level 100 combat milestone. Not that this is super important, but it does mean I can start using Graardor for Slayer tasks instead of Simona, so hopefully he'll get me some good tasks and not anything that's, too tedious. Say, for example, 40 Gorax. Finishing that task shortly after, I had gotten 67k ranged XP and 23k Slayer XP. Not a bad task in the least. Went to Falador, decided to AFK my commendation cap, got a whole bunch of XP, decided to cash in all of those commendations. Now, the reason I have an extra 71 at the end is because the first day, I don't think I capped fully. I made a mistake there, and that is definitely my fault. I should have definitely made sure I was doing that because it is just so good. I need to be taking advantage of it. But regardless, I did wind up getting 58 summoning through all of these lamps, and if you keep track of the total XP from the beginning of me exchanging all of these lamps to the end, you see I got around 75k XP in lamps. Now, that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but if you consider it's around 75k XP per day, and this is going to be in the game for, I think, around 2 weeks, somewhere close to that, not to mention I'm a very low level on average player, and this is going into low level skills. Definitely so good. Decided to hit Arctic Pines actually for the first time on this account, and the reason for that was because I wanted to work on getting my woodcutting strange rocks. There was really no other reason, but I got level 76 woodcutting, which is a requirement for the branches of Darkmire. Pretty good quest to be making progress toward, and the fact that I'll be able to use blisterwood weapons should be very useful not only for Slayer, but just for things like temple trekking, and really anywhere that I need to do anything involving vampires. I made my way to the granite mines, decided to start mining, but shortly after that hadn't made any great progress. It was the end of day 73 for me, though, at 1887 total level and 36 point, almost 0.2 mil total XP. We are making plenty of great progress. Day 73 was very productive. My total level is starting to get into the point where whenever I look at it or think about it, it makes me think I'm like chasing different historical dates and stuff like that. Wasn't too far or too many years ago. But regardless, day 73 complete. Let's jump into day 74. Began the day AFKing some fletching, got level 75. Nothing too important with this, just another level 75 skill. It's not a requirement for Plague's End like a whole bunch of other level 75 skills are, but it is good to be making this progress. Fletching has been one of my go-to AFK skills. As I'm recording this video, I'm AFKing fletching right now, so just kind of goes to show that it's something that is kind of like a background leveling skill for me. As you would have it though, Graardor gave me a Gorak task. Not to mention the fact that I had a Zamorak task, Zamorak Outpost Dungeon task, from Death, made me buy some Subjugation. Cost a decent chunk of change. Not too happy how much it actually did cost. I had to buy it much over mid, but regardless, it's definitely going to be worth it. I know it's an investment that's going to pay for itself. Very happy to spend the money if it means that I get my Subjugation. Looking pretty damn good with my Amulet of Fury trimmed and my Staff of Light too, if I do say so. Went on to complete that garbage task at only 11k magic XP and almost 3k Slayer XP. Absolutely tragic. Just terrible drops, terrible XP. It was not worth anything at all, but I'm not really in a position where I can afford to cancel tasks. I should be saving those points for things like Slayer Helm upgrades, the ability to make Slayer rings, stuff like that, so kind of just have to power through it. Now on day 74, the kind of treasure chest treasure hunter update sort of thing that takes place alongside the invasion of Falador was released. So I decided to use my XP on mining as opposed to farming on the first day. I believe those were the two options. And the reason for that was just because I need mining for Elf City and I don't need farming. So I got level 73 while doing that. It was definitely worth it. Finishing capping, or at least making progress on my capping, at the catapults. I had gotten level 85 construction. I missed the recording because I was editing the last video as I did this, so I'm sorry about that. Didn't really unlock anything too special though. Nothing monumental. There are unlocks at pretty much every construction level, but it just wasn't anything important. Finishing my capping at Falador though, it's incredible how much XP you get. After opening all these lamps, I got in around 70k XP. I wasn't too lucky in the fact that I got a whole bunch of random garbage, honestly, when those things could have been lamps, and if they had been lamps, it could have been almost 100k XP, but regardless, with an event like this, I just can't complain. Even though you want to and you want to try and get as much out of it as you can, you're already getting so much that I can't complain. So it's so great. If you're not doing this, please start. You are just screwing yourself over if you're not. The last lamp, though, did get me to level 59 summoning, which is pretty cool, making really good progress. Again, this is just going to help me out immensely. My daily divine location got me to level 71 hunter. You guys know I love getting hunter levels without actually hunting. I have not been doing nearly enough of the big Chinchampa distraction and diversion. I probably only do that. It's a rare day that I actually force myself to go there. I know I did today, meaning this actual day I'm recording, not the day of this video, but I need to get my ass there, and I'm sorry that I'm kind of dropping the ball on that one. Did a little bit of dungeoneering. I like to kind of go in spurts. Got level 72 though, really good progress. 3 levels away from the level I need for Plague's End, and also decent chunk away from getting the amount of tokens I want for the Charming Imp. That is one of my main goals right now, is working toward that Charming Imp. It's going to be quite a long time until I'm there, but I know it's going to pay off. Anyway though, that is going to be the end of this day, and in turn the end of this episode. At 1893 total level, 36.56 mil total XP. We have just made immense progress, you know, from all of those Bandos trips and all of the bank loot to buying subjugation, buying Bandos, and there's just so much XP abusing the hell out of Falador. It has been an incredible episode, and I cannot wait to see you guys in the next one. Make sure you're subscribed if you aren't already. That way you see when the next one is out. Have an amazing day. Thank you for watching. Stay happy, and I cannot wait to see you next time, where I will return and I will rebuild. I will.